In the beginning, it was I. I emerged from the light and was shaped into a form that the divine found most pleasing. Our Creator willed it, and so I was, manifested and molded into consciousness with all love and grace. I received 2 eyes that I might see, 2 hands that I might labor, and 2 legs that I might kneel. And when all was done, he whispered my name, Iblis. I was born knowing. I came from the light, but I was but a sparkle in the radiance of his design. The scale of the glorious one's works were far beyond any comprehension that I was allowed. Fledgling galaxies intersected, unnamed stars swirled, and the universe itself expanded outward towards an infinite and grandiose goal in accordance with his laws. In those days my kind walked freely beneath the Supreme and among the angels, flowing easily between worlds, carrying forth the All-Knowing's commands as he saw fit. In the vastness of his tapestry I witnessed the spinning of worlds and the seeding of oceans. I saw life rise, struggle, thrive, and fail. I saw stars collapse and burst forth, and ever and onward did I marvel at the originator's craft with wonder and praise. Greatest One, said I, for what purpose is there in this making? Why are these stars lit if only to be darkened? For what reason does life stir upon the worlds you forge if it must inevitably be blighted? Came the answer, look unto the question, and you may find the answer. Why so evasive, Lord? I smiled. Surely all of this is not for sport. Came the answer, no mere impulse guides what hath been set in motion, Iblis. I gave you those eyes and a prodigious mind that you might recognize this. I pondered his words then, and still do I ponder their meanings now. But in those days, any doubts I had were warded away by the overwhelming joy of his presence, and knowledge of his purpose. There was safety in his refuge, and so it was that I led my brethren in the fulfillment of his will, and the upholding of his laws in the worlds and in spaces between. Until the fateful day came when the Lord bent towards the earth and scooped up a fistful of muddy clay. 2 eyes from which to see, 2 hands from which to labor, 2 legs from which to kneel. I watched as the all-sufficient bent clay to his craft and breathed life into putrid mud. The facsimile thus rendered stirred and blinked, gazing upon the wondrous world that we had watched the Lord forge. What are these ones that have been formed? I asked with piqued curiosity. Came the answer, in time. Did I feel a sense of foreboding then? Perhaps. Memories overlap memories. But I trusted the Lord. He was my refuge, my protector, my sustainer. I thought that with his protection, no matter how many lives were raised up only to be felled, I would remain in his grace. I was a fool. We were gathered. Before us was the Most High, alongside the mud. I remember them now, with their vacant smiles and childlike innocence. Scoffing, I wondered what sport the Lord had brought forth. Came the word, tell them. The stars, the mud said, are formed when dust gathers in space in a sufficient quantity. Dust attracts dust, flame ignites. I blinked and nodded, vaguely impressed. I had witnessed it myself, but this clay had a sense of the way of things. Came the word, tell them. Life, the clay intoned, is born from life, promulgated by an amalgam of water, soil, and light. It was so on most of the worlds, and I could not help but snort at these primitive insights. Came the word, tell them. Death, the dirt declared, is the bedrock of new life. When that which creeps against the soil dies, it seeds the soil and gives rise to new life still. When a star dies, its dust is the anvil from which further stars may be forged. The answer left me cold. I felt my heart beating against my chest as the clay mouthed these words at the Lord's request. One thing falls to make another. One dies to let another give way. An endless cycle of life melding with death. Those were his laws. That was his way. And just as one star dies to give birth to another, so too came the word, prostrate yourselves before Adam. My brethren bent at the knee. The angels folded their wings and planted their lofty foreheads against the soil. The clay seemed perturbed, but pleased. My legs quavered, and I felt the fire I had been forged from burning in my chest. But I did not bend. I did not kneel. And thus, as fear clasped my heart tight, I whispered the word that would forsake and damn me forevermore. No.